Hi everybody. So I'm at it again now that I'm really brave to trim a deck. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to do another deck that I'm really confident with doing. It's no big deal. And then I'm going to try to do I think it's the Wisdom of Love Oracle. So I'm kind of nervous about that one. But let me just show you what I'm getting started on. Okay, so I might move the camera a minute. So I have the Morgan Greer tarot deck. You know, I'm sure you guys have seen it. It's just like the Rider-Waite. Okay, hopefully my camera won't fall. But it's just the pictures closer up. So the Knight of Wands is closer. You know, this is the Four of Swords with the guy laying on the bed, but the bed's not there. So it's just, everything is just closer. Remember, this is the 5, 6, 7 of Swords, so you don't see the tents in the back. You just see him. So, and I do love this deck, but I couldn't really find anything to go with it. Because like I said before, I usually buy my deck, a clarifying deck, and an oracle. So I'm still looking for an oracle, maybe, possibly. You know, I don't always have to have one. But I also had bought this Numerology deck at Barnes & Noble because I'm into numerology. And this is actually, hopefully if I don't drop anything, a very interesting book. It goes into, you know, our number. Everything's about numbers. You know, our date of birth, our driver's license number, everything. So, you know, it tells you what type you are, what number you are. You're a type 3 or type 5. After, you know, there's a process to do it. But 8 is about, you know, the infinity symbol. There's a square there. That's stability. You know, 3s. Let's see here. That's the inverted triangles, if you could see the page. But then all the cards, it has a inhibition. What's keeping us, you know, from, let's say, moving forward or reaching our goals. Our exaggerations, like our drama, and then our solutions to our problems, you know, depending on which card comes out for the number 7. So each number has 3 cards, and you can see the exaggerations, like on the number 3, if you could see, it's kind of like zigzaggedy there, and the solution makes a perfect triangle. So it's quite interesting, you know, and it wasn't that expensive, so I'm like, hey, let me pick it up and try it. But I couldn't ever really fit this deck with anything, at least how I liked it. So what I did is, this is what the deck looked like. Okay, and I might pick up the camera so I could show you better. So this is what the deck looked like. You know, that's like the number 3, number 8. And what I did was I cut it. So I think that looks much better, you know, with the Morgan Greer deck. You know, if I do use numerology with the deck, then this with it. So do you see what I'm saying? Okay, I just really like how these colors look better. Now, when I cut my other deck, the Druid Plant Oracle, it was really easy to cut. Now this one, I don't know, because the inside of the card is thinner. But I don't know, I kind of didn't do a good job on the first 3 cards. But now I have the hang of it. So I'm going to put the camera down and go over again how I cut my decks. Like I'm a pro now. I've only done one deck. This is my second one. But I use a cutter. And you line up, do the long sides first. And you have to stand at an angle. Okay, I'm making sure I'm in the picture. And then you line up the corner here, the corner tip of where you're going to start cutting, you know, to cut down with the blade. So you have to be at the right angle so that you could see it. And you can lower it a little, you know, like it doesn't matter that I cut that part right there already, because that's, you know, I don't need that. So you can recorrect yourself and then go down and turn it around. And because you have this that you're holding it against, it is going to be straight. Again, this is straight on here, so it's not like you're cutting a card like that, you know, crooked. And then you just turn it and eye it up. And there we go. Finished project. Finished product. So I just, you know, the blue just comes out much better to me with that. And I just like it, you know, even if I'm gonna use it for clarifying, you know, I wasn't thinking of doing that, but I was just gonna use it as an extra measure in my spread, you know, bring in some numerology. Yeah, so and this also has, well, like, okay, never mind. That's not right. Scratch that. So I'm going to go ahead and cut all these. And then I finish cutting, and I can kind of show you the end product. Now, my other one that I was having problems with is I have the Hidden Realms Tarot, which I love. I love this deck. If you could see it. Okay. And, you know, the pictures are a little bit, it's just a different type of art. So I was having a hard time finding an oracle that I felt would go with this. Because, like I said in my last showing video, I put cards together, and it's kind of like a recipe for me, and they match their energies, so they work well together. Because, you know, everything in this world is about energy. So what, you know, I couldn't find, I've been looking and looking, and I couldn't really find anything to go with these cards. So, you know, I looked at what I had, and I had the Whispers of Love Oracle, which I love. You know, everybody's seen these. These are beautiful cards. And, you know, I was like, well, I'll just put these with it. And then I thought, as I'm getting into the cutting mania, trimming mania as a maniac, I mean, that would be fine with them, right? Those go. But I'm like, would that look a little better without the border? You know, because it kind of does. You know, there's a child in the Hidden Realms, and, you know, some of the colors are the same. Let's see here. Oh, uh-oh, okay. Dropping everything. But, okay, so, like, here's a purple one. I was trying to look for colors. And here's a purple one. You know, and it's amazing when you do cut out this border, the purple is really going to shine through. So this is what I'm thinking. Now I'm going to probably try to find the ugliest card, if there is one, in this deck, because it's beautiful in this deck. And it's not going to affect the back, because see, it's just the purplish that I would be cutting out. So I'm going to try to find a card that either, you know, is ugly, if there is one, or, you know, doesn't really mean a lot to anybody. And I'm going to try that and see how it looks with the deck. So I'm going to pause the video, and I'm going to finish cutting my numerology cards. And then I will cut a card or two of this deck and show you. And if I decide to keep going, then I'll show you the finished project. Project. All right? So stay tuned. Okay, I just wanted to tell you, turn off my air. Ouch. As I'm cutting, okay, I wanted to, let you know, see how there's a little bit of white on the bottom there? So definitely cut from the front because, at first I was looking at the backs of these. Now these are cheap cards. And there is a lot more white in the back of these cards. And if I were to cut on the back of the cards, I'd be taking off too much. So make sure you just cut from the front of the card. And then, it's just going to have to look like that on the back. And I'm just not going to have to worry about that. So I just wanted to make a note of that. If you ever come across that, always cut from the front of the cards because the backs might not be lined up correctly. And it could just be because this is a cheap deck. All right. So I'm going to keep going. So again, I have the line here. And if I look at the back, now it does look like that's about right. So I can just see I didn't even go all the way down. I just cut that line off. So that worked out good. So I'm almost done with this deck. And this is not taking me long at all. Now, for me, it does hurt my back to do this. So that's the only problem, but it would probably hurt me to, so that comes out really clean. But if we look at the back, how there's white, but I'm not going to keep cutting because I don't want to ruin the front of the card. And I forget who I was watching. I forget the tarot girl's name, but she's like, if you're going to trim a deck, you got to not be so, perfect. Like I probably just ruined that. Like I probably just cut off the two a little bit too much. But I also, now this card is white. So I'm a little worried about this one. I might do what I can see first. I am worried about this one. Okay. See that. This one's a bit scary. Oh, see now, I think I will go on the back with this one. Okay, because I can't even see where I would cut for that. So I'm going to go a little bigger. Well, I'll just do it. Okay, and hopefully it's the same size as the other card. Yeah. And when I'm done, oh no, it's a little shorter. Because when I did my other deck, here's another white one. When I did my other deck, the cards were perfect. Exactly the same size all around. Which is why I like doing it with this, because you got the stability of this to make everything straight. That's another scary one. And now I have to look at the back again. And the other one was too short. Yeah, no, this one's again, it's a little too long. So I might go back and fix. I don't know, because whenever you go back and fix something, you ruin it. You know how when there's a bug in your lights in your kitchen or something, and you're like, I need to clean that. I need to get the bug out, and you end up breaking your light, and then you can't find it. The light you had, and it turns into a big problem. It's like, just leave the friggin' bug in there. So, see, I kind of went a little far on that one, and look at the back. You know, that's totally not, like, lined up right. But, so it's probably hard on, if you gotta, see, I did it again on this one. But again, this is a really cheap deck. It's not that important to me. So I have the white there. But look, oh, there's no white on this back one. So, you know, and I don't want to cut up there because there's no purple. So I can kind of hang it off the edge and just keep lowering it until I get to that white spot. See? I didn't cut off down there. You gotta be a cutter connoisseur. And let's see. I think I was using maybe this one. Oh yeah. So I might have to go look at the deck, but let's see. Let's see how it comes together. Oh yeah, and I have to get the corner cutter. That's what I gotta get. I go back out. All right. So they're not perfect, but can I shuffle them? Yeah, well, I mean, there's not that many cards in this deck. Okay, stop. Enough. That's enough. They're kind of stiff, and they can be shuffled. So when I really feel like it, I might go back and let's see, because I let them fall out like this. So yeah, I'll just get the corner cutter so I'm not like poking myself with the sharp corners. Yeah, and that'll work. So I think that looks better, at least with the Morgan Greer deck. Than it did in the beginning. So if I want to use numerology with this, so there's some yellows, some blues in this deck, some oranges. Oh, sorry, the camera's not even on it. So that kind of blends nicely. All right, so I'm gonna try a card with the Whispers of Love Oracle, and we'll see what happens. So hang on. Okay, I got Brave. Oh, let me turn my air off again. So it's not so loud. So I got Brave. I cut 2 cards. So here's the Tarot of the Hidden Realm. And that's the Whispers of Love Oracle that I want to put with this deck. So I think that does look better than the big borders, because the borders are kind of all different shades. And oh, I'm sorry, my arm. I always do that. Oh, sorry again with my arm. So you know, that kind of bugs me sometimes when the borders are different shades. I guess it really doesn't make a difference because they're beautiful cards anyway. But oh shoot, I think I'm gonna keep going. I think I'll get more use out of the cards this way. Now I really had to be careful with these cards, and I'll have to get the corner cutter for these. But so that I'll show it to you when I'm done. Okay, hang on. Okay, so, and I'm also noticing with this deck, so not all trims are alike. So I guess that's why people can use scissors too. I just think that might hurt my hands too much. But this deck has a border, and then if you could see, it has another gold border around, you know, the picture. So you have to decide, are you going to go inside that border or outside that border? Well, I kind of have to go outside that border, I realize, because at the top is the number, so I can't cut off the number. So I've left a little bit of room, especially at the corners, because I need to, you know, cut the corners rounded. So I'm going to kind of leave it like that for now, and I can, you know, fix it up. You know, even on this deck, the back, there's a lot more of that border than on the front. So I guess that's how they all are. I guess nothing's perfect, right? Nothing's perfect in this world. So I'm just gonna kind of trim this, and then I'll get the corner cutter, and then if there's anything I gotta touch up on, then I will touch up on it. So I just wanted to let you know that, and make sure you're only grabbing one card, because these are kind of thick, but two were sticking together. So, but yeah, I think, you know, and I mean, I can always buy another deck if I decide that it's not working for me, but I think when the corners are cut, it'll look much better. All right, I'm gonna keep going. Okay, I'm still going at it. I just wanted to kind of show you the transformation of colors. This card, where is it? I just love how this card came out. Again, I'm going to have to get the corner cutters, and I might have to go back with the scissors and trim just a little. But I also need to get better scissors than what I have, you know, in the house where I cut paper and, you know, packages. So this is a card. This, obviously, this is the card. So let's see how it transforms, because it's just amazing how it changes. So see how I have a little more down here? So you can reline it up and just go again, and then it kind of gets it for you. So I'm kind of cutting off that side little border on the sides and on the bottom. I'm not worrying about that extra little border I showed you that they have, because again, all those are different colors. But on the top, I am cutting above the border because I don't want to cut off the number, because you can always go lower later, and I always have to lower the blade a bit to kind of see where I'm going to fall, and then I just move it down a tad, because I can always, you know, trim it, but I don't want to cut off the number at the top, and I can go back and trim that later. Oh, so we were going to look. So it's much greener, I think. And then this really comes out. So I just picked this card. This wasn't as big as a transformation as I thought it would be, but maybe it did look like it on camera. Let me see if there's another one that might. Okay, let's do this one, because this one has a lot of colors on it. Okay, so there's this one. So let's see transformation on this one. Again, You know, and I'm thinking, is it me or is it the card that's kind of crooked sometimes? I don't know who's crooked. Someone's crooked. And if you were going to cut a lot of decks all the time, I would probably get something that suctioned to your table. Because I'm trying to make sure that this is straight. But, yeah, I can see already. Hang on, Cooper. Okay, see, I'm too low. Alright. Yeah, and then I'll just, when the corner comes. So yeah, look how blue that looks now. So, with the deck, you know, I think it'll really pop with it. Yeah, versus this. I mean, this still looks okay. And like I said, I can always buy another deck. Oh, I keep putting my hand in front of the friggin' camera. But I think I'm gonna like how this looks. So I'm gonna keep going. Okay, I'm on my last card. So let me cut this and then I'm gonna show you. I do have, like I said, I do have to go back maybe and get some really good scissors and possibly trim, and then I need a corner cutter. But I want to show you a few cards that really, I feel really transformed. This card is becoming much more blue. Okay. Alright, so these are the ones that I feel really, really transformed. This is my pile of them over here. And this is the Hidden Realm. This is the cards that I was trying to get it to go with. Hopefully you can see all this. Which I love this deck. I'm just trying to pull out some colors here that this deck has in it. So that's the Tarot of the Hidden Realm. Okay. So these are the cards that I just feel really, really transformed. Like the candles are just really standing out on this card now. This is the cover, the book. You know, it transformed a little bit. This one, the sun, the rainbow around it is really cosmic now. This one, it's like a magnifying glasses on it now. It's just beautiful. This one came out really cool. This one, the colors just pop. So I think it does go with the Hidden Realms a little bit better now. Which is, oh, and I love this one too. They just pop. I showed you this one before. You know, there's a lot of blues that came out in this deck. There's that one. And this one is really nice. You know, you can just see, I feel like you can see the detail better. And this one I love. This is my favorite transformation one. I mean, it's just, the child on the lotus flower. The innocent, beautiful beauty. Yeah, Cooper, I know. And then even this one, I just love it. Okay, so that's the Whispers of Love. And let me just show you. And I do like this one too. Oops, this one too. Okay, so it's, you know, because I did have to leave the top. If you can kind of see, the bottoms are pretty even. Well, I'm not holding it right, but the bottoms are pretty even. The sides, if you can see, the sides are really even. It's just the tops, because I left room because of the numbers, so I have to go back and trim, but I didn't want to cut too low, so I was really careful. Like this one, I left a lot of room, because in the beginning I was like, oh, I wasn't really noticing that, so hopefully I didn't F up the beginning. Oh, there, like 14, I cut off 8, and I cut off whatever that was. So I'll have to see what number's missing. So, you know, you live and you learn. Oh, and I cut this one off. Yeah, that was probably my first card. But, I mean, it doesn't really matter about the number unless I'm going to look for further. I'm an intuitive reader, so unless I'm going to look for further information in the book. But, hey, no one's perfect. So, yeah, so now I just know, you know, next time be a little more careful, you know. Yeah, so I really like how it turned out. And I hope you enjoyed the video. So I think those go good together now. I'm happy with it. I'm happy I did this. And I still liked it the other way, so I may still buy another deck in the future if I decide to. But I think this will work for me. Okay? Because I like to work with what I have. I don't have a lot of money to be, you know, keep constantly buying decks. And I couldn't find anything that I felt would fit other than the one I already had. So I just made it work for me. Alright. And it's funny because, you know, at first I thought it was like sacrilegious, you know, to kind of cut a deck up. Like, how rude. You're ruining it. But I swear, the more I was cutting these cards, it was like they were speaking to me and saying, oh, we're free. It's like I took their jacket off. You know, like, it's like we are free. We can, I don't know. They just popped. They just felt like they were free. Like they were confined in the boundary. And now they're free to be who they truly are. So that's the energy I was getting as I further went along and cut. So, you know, and like I said, I just love this card. I wish I had it as a picture. But anyway, so I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and comment below at the way bottom of your screen. And let me know what you think, or if you have any trimming ideas, or because this is only my third one I've ever done. So I'd love to hear from you. And I will check in with you again. Look for this in my next reading with the Hidden Realms. Tara, thank you. Bye-bye.